This is live. You should be able to see it on his page if you can.
On his page?
Well, no, actually, no. Okay. Ladies, Audie, listen. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
We are standing on College Green, House of Cummings. We're just going to wait for a couple of people to come. Maybe people are still sleeping. Maybe they're still in bed. It's there. Yeah. Maybe people are sleeping. They're still in bed. Maybe they are at getting ready for church. Ladies and gentlemen, are you awake? Are you awake? Knock on the phone. Are you awake? Are you awake? But listen, we just did a version of In Review. Audie Cummings was my guest, is my guest actually. Audie is a friend of the SYLBOURNE Show. But because we're here at the House of Commons, we just felt that we needed to just talk a bit about people positioning ourselves in the UK, in power, and to be at the table. Audie, your thoughts?
Oh, indeed. That's so significant in terms of the term of positioning.
Yeah.
The strategy of positioning oneself,
Yeah.
particularly as we come up to a major decision that only takes place in a possible lifetime. We as a people, black people, need to know that we are more than our feelings.
Yes.
We are not just the car that we drive. We're not just the house that we live in.
Yes.
We are not just even whatever the thought was, but we are going forward future-wise to become what will be something even our children and our children's children will speak about. The posterity of the future is with those who seize the day.
That's powerful, seizing the day, because today we're even talking about the Brexit factor and the fact that in a few days or so, or under a month, Theresa May, the Prime Minister, will be triggering Article 50. And the key question which I ask, and if you watch a show tonight at 8 o'clock on SYLBOURNE TV, ask the question, what are the views, what is the thinking of black people? How are we seen? Are we positioned? Yes, we have a few MPs here, but are we a part of the process, Audie?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not so sure that we are a part of the process as we ought to be.
Yeah.
I do believe that within the paradigm of the present status quo, that there is going to be a true shattering of that in order for things to be as they ought to. The flux of caliber, quality, and effectiveness are what's going to need to come into play for the new, as we say, UK, Brexited from the old 27 countries, to be established is with those who seize the day. We need to seize the opportunity on every single platform to add to the progression that we so desperately need as a people.
You mentioned also that there's also a history, a legacy here with Parliament, with black people in the UK.
Indeed. There is a significant history and legacy, even when we look at history in terms of Macbeth, which is a well-established place we know that is about race and colour. And just as know that we, in terms of Scotland and the Moors, and that we're not strangers and that we've not only just come here. And once we have a sense of knowing who we are, we then are able to be who we are. Because if we don't have that sense of knowing who we are,
sorry, you just said something which excited me a while ago when you mentioned not having an identity of knowing who we are. So therefore, the key factor is about identity.
Absolutely.
Having that confidence of knowing who you are and why you are here, why you are born here, why you and I, Audie, is standing here at this moment on the 18th, 19th. I know that because my wife's birthday was the 17th and yesterday was the 18th and today's the 19th, so I know today's the 19th. There must be a reason why we are standing here.
Yeah, there is. And I think, as a Christian, that there's always a spiritual reason. And that when you become somebody who has that fear of God, things are never natural anymore. But you look at the impact and the representation of what that is. And the significance of the legacy that we're establishing here is what we will tell our children. And whether we just sort of watch things happen, or whether we were a part of making things happen. And that's what I think it is in terms of a voice coming together, reflecting what we can to improve circumstances, because problems also present opportunity.
You always said something about there are 3 different types of people when we speak all the while. I like what you said all the while. Can you repeat? You always said there's one who makes it happen. Right?
Yeah, there are three types of people.
Yeah.
Those who watch things happen.
Those who watch things happen. Note that. Yeah.
Those who make things happen.
Those who make things happen.
And those who wonder what the heavens has happened.
Well, some people will say what the hell is happening, but Audie has changed it and say what the heaven is happening. You understand? But we want to be people that know exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
And I've been speaking to Audie sometimes, and when we spoke to Audie, you might have heard I talked about recently the looking around you. You see people every day, but you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
But when you get to know them, you're amazed by the explosive dreams and visions. And I was speaking to you. I was driving. I had my earpiece on. Everything was secured. You know, no police would have stopped me. Just for the record, I mean, there's some cops behind me here at the House of Commons. So just for the record, I was secured. And all this, I said something to Audie, the same thing, and I said, Audie, can you copy that for me? Can you record that for me? What I said, because I was driving, and that was powerful. So I started to think more and more about this particular concept that if as black people in the UK, I'm from Jamaica. We need to reach to a point whereby we support each other, we help each other, we build each other,
yes,
we edify each other, and we stop calling people names of a negative level.
Yes.
But what is more important, and I'm going to tell you this, what is so more important is that you learn to disagree. We must disagree. But at the same time, we close ranks, we cover each other.
We cover each other. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because we got to recognize the diversity of our differences.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that we are diametrically opposed
Yeah.
to not being able to progress or in any way put another down. But it adds a color and it adds a plethora that will take us to a place where we wouldn't be able to go unless we work together.
Yes.
And that's what this diversity, that's what this different angle of looking at it. So we're going in the same direction, and there are some of us who see north as we're moving forward, there are some of us who see south as we're moving forward, east, and etc. But the key thing is that we're going in the direction of progression, and that we've got to, as SYLBOURNE has stated, not look to put one another down with immaturities, but look to build, because you've got words that build and you've got words that destroy. And we've got to be building. We've got to use building words. And these building words, these audible building words, are what we tell others, and it's what we tell ourselves. And I believe that's what the secret of success is.
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking a while ago of builders. There are builders all the way, and one of the key things with builders is that they're always, first thing they're doing is setting that foundation.
Yes.
That foundation is so powerful, people.
Yeah.
And once they set that powerful foundation, they rise on top of it.
Yeah.
Everything goes on top of that element there, you know. And I just mentioned the word, everything goes on top of that element. Yeah. I've developed this concept, and I'm sharing this concept, and everybody's looking at my pages these way. I keep hashtagging something called the black element.
Yeah.
The black element. What is the black element? Okay, you got Pan-Africanist movement, you got different type of movements, but I'm saying the key thing that we seem to missing, and Audie, you explained it recently, is the element of our blackness that brings us together. Audie, explain that in a bit depth, the element factor.
Yeah, certainly. The black element factor is the key denominator, the key foundation that brings us together, that either by default we are made to feel that we ought not to identify, but it's who we are. It's our raison d'etre, the quintessence of our essence that brings us together in times of adversity. And we see it in 1980s, we see it in throughout history where we as a people have suffered, but that element keeps us together. And sometimes we are so resilient under adversity that we now need to know how to come together through more times of peace, more times as we look towards the Brexit. We've got to now come together to establish this.
People want to see all this. Keep talking. We
want to establish this, the black element, in a way that we will enable people to have a confidence in who they are, and to know that they don't have to explain who they are, they're just who they are, and that we are a people who are on the move and have a legacy and a posterity to be proud. I mean, even the Big Ben behind us, Yeah, so we've got Big Ben behind us, which was named after Benjamin Banneker.
Yes.
And Benjamin Banneker, of course, we know that he had designed the first clock.
Yes.
And that's why it was called Big Ben. And it's right behind us. I don't know, it's been recently renamed, etc. But that isn't something to be ashamed of. That's something to be proud of. It's awesome. That's just a minutiae. You know, even me and the wife was just watching a film the other day, and it was about a young lady by the name of Belle, and she was mulatto. She was black, and her father was English, and she was of the Mansfield family. And this Mansfield family that she was of had a great uncle who was a chief Lord Justice.
Yes.
And he was challenged. He was challenged in a way that it changed the context of today. In the fact that this was his great niece.
Yes.
And that the significance she played within his household, in that her father, before he had died, brought her to his seat of family and said, she will take a seat. She's black, but she's my daughter, and she will take her seat. She will have everything that comes to her. And when he did that, and he went away, and he never came back because he passed away because he was in the Navy, and that this lady Belle had been inside the home of this Lord Chief Justice, who was her grand uncle, and he was influenced and challenged about a particular case. And this particular case ratio concerned the determination of a company that made money over the last 400 or 500 years off of the servitude of us. But he saw things different. He was a white Lord Chief Justice who had a grand niece who now realized, my feelings are different. This black element is a part of me. And I need to change my perspective, and I need to consequently, proportionately adjudicate the law in a significance that it reflects the times of then, as we do now.
So the key thing is about recognizing where we're at, recognizing the diversity of us, recognizing that we do not think alike, all of us, but recognizing that there is more that keeps us together, that we agree with, than we disagree with. Which is acknowledged by Big Ben, which is just starting to bend. Okay, so therefore the black element factor is a new movement, a new thrust, a new thinking. It is a new mindset, powerful new mindset. It is whereby we don't do things as we normally did before, where we always expect the same results. We are doing things differently, but differently in a way to build us. Because guess what, Audie? What I recognize, people, and what I see is that our children, they're following us.
Absolutely.
And they follow us, and they'll follow us. And if they can't follow us, they're going to follow someone else. And that's why I always say it's most important that we are, firstly, the role models of our children. Because if you abdicate that responsibility, somebody's going to take it. And that person who takes it may not have blessings that you really want for your children. So we first must have that responsibility. So the black element factor is that we want the children of the future, our black children, to occupy the seat of power in Westminster.
That's right.
When I took some young people years ago to the House of Parliament on the Operation Black Vote, where I called Politics in You, I said to them after, see that place as your heritage now. Because you're not going to go back to Jamaica with me. Are your children going to go to Jamaica? Right?
Absolutely.
I don't like they're going to, but guess what? They're going to actually still be here in this country. So why not take advantage, seize the day, be a part of that proactive action, and don't be, what do you say? The person who say, what in heavens is happening?
Absolutely, No, you're right, absolutely, because it's our heritage. This is who we are, and that we can be a part of something that a particular mindset will keep us separated from what posterity is naturally ours. What it is that it's very powerful because it's the shaping of a paradigm, a new paradigm of mindset that is something that prior we had another concept, and only we can do that. Only we can do that. Only we can have confidence when we have the obedience to follow the dream and the vision of what's right. It doesn't mean it's popular. It does go against the flow, but it's the way.
We go against the flow, you know, remember?
But it's the way to go.
We go against the flow because it's the way to go. And remember, the black element is empowering the dream.
Absolutely.
Each day I'm getting more snippets and words to put the whole thing together, Audie. The black element is empowering the dream.
Absolutely.
You know, in America, they always talk about the dream.
Yeah.
Live your dream.
Yeah.
The land of dream. So I say, hang on a second. That's a mindset that created that mentality. That was from immigrants who created that mentality.
Absolutely.
I'm an immigrant. You're sons of immigrants.
That's right.
So therefore, we can empower the dream. The black element, empower the dream. The black dream. Why not?
Absolutely. And
it's a mindset.
And even the word immigrant.
Yeah.
Who devised that term? And this is the thing.
Yeah.
You see, what it is we live inside the words of another.
Yes.
But today we are able to determine a new word.
Yes.
And God created the heavens and the earth by his word.
Yes.
And he made us in his image.
Yes.
And the image that he made us in enables us to win.
I know we're a church, as you can realize.
Yeah. So the word today, if someone has called you a word, which is what SYLBOURNE was saying about names, etc.
No, the names people use a lot. I say house nigger, coon, all those things. Actually negative. I think it is putting us way back, and I say stop it. I shut it down instantly. Please.
Awesome.
I say it as it is.
That's right. So we can't and don't have to live inside another's word.
Yeah.
We can create a word and be heard.
Yes.
And this word that we live in is a progressive paradigm through a language that's raison d'etre and tone is going to place our posterity in a place to add a polarity that will reflect a progression that would not be able to be achieved singularly. It's got to be collectivist.
Yes.
And as someone correctly said,
collectivist.
Yes. Collectivist is the way. It's not individualism, but it's collectivism. And sometimes when we think of collectivism, we think we lose our individualism. No, it's as a collectivist that we bring our abilities and qualities together in a synergistic way. And the word synergy in business is not one and one making two. No.
Yes.
One and one is 11 synergistically.
Yes.
Merger and acquisition, when you bring an organization together, the output is so synergistic, is so great that it makes up one of the greatest institutions that was established by our God and Savior, and that is marriage. And that is what comes out of a home represents that home. And England is our home.
That's powerful.
And what comes out of England represents England. So as we approach a significant part of the end of the month, I believe that this is ionic.
And you know what? I always say this without a shadow of a doubt. Uncharted waters, I say this, uncharted waters create uncharted opportunities. And therefore, how you see, how you perceive, I mean, this is not Specsavers, but I still got to put on this. You know, how you see, how you perceive things determine the outcome. Yeah. Because guess what? I will see a glass which is half filled. I'll see a glass which is quarter filled. I'll see a glass which is 3/4 filled, Audie. And then I'll even see the glass which is completely filled. Do you notice I have not used the word empty?
Wow, awesome. That is so powerful. Awesome. And I just really think that what SYLBOURNE's introduced us to here is a new way of thinking, the black element.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is, the black element, empowering our dream, taking our position, taking our stand, build, edify, encourage, straighten, correct, and okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree, right? Have we ever
Absolutely.
You know, there's a gentleman one time on Facebook said, SYLBOURNE, this is the first time we have agreed. And I said to him, no, we always disagree to agree. Or we always agree to disagree. So that's the most important thing. So ladies and gentlemen, hope you perceive, how you perceive, you determine the outcome. Thank you. That someone said how you perceive, you determine the outcome. Thank you very much. So on that note now, from Westminster, the first of Audie, I'm going to declare this, the first of the black the black element, expose it. Or something like that.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome because what it is that we imprison ourselves by virtue of the interpretation of our word as SYLBOURNE has expounded. And I believe there's a releasing today of prisons.
Yes.
There's a releasing of inhibitive words that have given us a language so natural that we have kept ourselves there, that I do believe the black element with its language, culture, way of living and operating will be able to restore. And the doors of restrictions, of limitations, we limit. Our only limit is our limitation, as someone established. And we can communicate, and we can leave negative words out, limiting words out. And when we can communicate, removing limiting words, we are then able to achieve our true potential. And our true potential we are yet to achieve, because together, collectively, we will be able to advance, empower at the intersection of a necessary progression of a place where, even if I don't see and ears have not heard, I do believe that we will stand and see a new element inside.
And in my last words, thank you for that, Audie. A great man said, the Lord has taken him to the mountaintop and he has allowed him to see over. And he said this, mine eyes have seen